Hey guys, this is Anthony. Today we're playing another 15 plus 10 game on Lichess. We have the black pieces. And yeah, let's see what our opponent plays. Okay, we are facing e4. Let's play e6. And we're going to the French, the advanced variation. Don't see this a lot on Lichess at this level. So I like pawn takes, followed by knight c6. So knight c6, bishop b5. Probably just bishop d7. Bishop b5, what about pawn to a6? I think that just drops a pawn though. Okay, so they defend with bishop f4. Interesting. Interesting. So, queen b6, because b2 is loose. There's also knight g to e7, but queen b6 looks natural. Queen c7 also. But I like that queen b6 comes with some tempo. So we are threatening the knight. A knight takes, queen takes. That makes sense. Bishop b4 check, c3. Don't see anything coming out of that. So I do like this knight rerouting. Bishop over, that's also interesting. Threatening f2. But there's knight takes, queen takes. Knight over. Yeah, seems too complicated. Let's just play knight g e7. And we'll try playing knight g6 and attack this dark square bishop. Okay, so knight g6 looks natural. And we're threatening that e5 pawn also. So what if they play knight a4, queen b4 check? Does pick up the bishop. No, queen b4 check, then bishop d2. Okay. Bishop d2, queen e4 check. So, somewhat interesting line. So I'm just trying to decide if I should be a little greedy here. But a pawn's a pawn, so looking at knight g takes e5. trying to see what white can do. There's knight a4, attacking the queen. But yeah, there's always queen b4 check. c3, queen e4. So yeah, let's go for this. I'll make the pre-move just in case they capture. Yeah, this is one of the dangers or difficulties of playing this advanced variation. It's hard to keep these pawns. Okay, so I am looking at queen b4 check. They actually have to play knight c3, don't they? They have to play knight c3. So queen b4, knight c3. But my queen just looks too exposed. Yeah, queen looks exposed on b4, but retreating back to d8 looks quite passive as well. So yeah, let's go queen b4 check, knight c3. I was looking at d4, but I don't think that works yet. So d4, there's knight takes, queen takes. I would like to get castled. So yeah, looking at bishop e7. Yeah, bishop e7, castle. Okay, we're down 4 minutes, but we're up a clean pawn. And yeah, if we can consolidate right now, develop our pieces, I am liking our position. Okay. So queen b6 was my idea. Yeah, queen d5, queen d6 just walks into a pin, which doesn't seem pleasant. Okay. So they do have knight a4 again. Yeah, it's almost like we're repeating positions. Yeah, at that point, maybe just go back to d8. Okay, they bring their queen out. Knight g6 or knight c6. knight c4. How are they defending this pawn? Knight c4, knight a4, I guess. Queen back. I don't mind my knight there. It is quite annoying, isn't it? Okay. We're attacking b2. White also has long castles to protect, but yeah, I wonder how dangerous it is to long castle in this situation. Yeah, knight takes a3 may work in some scenarios. Like I'm imagining knight to d4, knight takes, and then bishop takes a3, assuming that white has long castled. Okay, so they're just counterattacking my g7 pawn. I like castles. And yeah, if anything, bishop f6 just makes this g7 pawn a little more sturdy. So what am I threatening? Knight takes b2 is a threat. Okay, so they're going for it. Interesting. Bishop f6. Looks normal. So the threat is bishop takes c3, b takes c3, knight takes a3. So picking up that second pawn. I do see I miss bishop takes c4. Probably play pawn takes, and it's a little awkward for me to develop. Okay, so bishop takes c3, rook takes c3. Trying to see if there's any tactics. Yeah, maybe just play my bishop out. Could also play h4, h5. I think I'd feel more comfortable though if I was developed. Okay, let's play bishop d7. Bishop d7, knight takes, pawn takes. My bishop's hanging, isn't it? Yeah, so maybe I have to prepare this with the rook coming over. There's also e5. Pawn to e5 with the discovery. Pawn to e5. Yeah, that might be a nice way to develop. This pawn is hanging on d5. Okay, let's try this out. I like pawn to e5 followed by pawn to d4. Did I give up knight takes? Knight takes d5 though. Yeah, maybe that was a blunder there. I missed knight takes d5. Okay, they miss it right back. So I like that these moves are coming with tempo. So pawn to d4. There's knight a4, queen b5. And that knight is going to be trapped. Yeah, it's going to be trapped. Okay. So I'm looking at queen a6. That doesn't look right though. Yeah, queen a6, knight takes with check. Okay, so let's solidify. Yeah, I think I went awry with pawn to e5. I think the position's still fine. Queen over with check. That's sort of interesting. Oh, my knight is hanging. Okay, my knight is hanging. Yeah, a somewhat messy game. Knight d2 check, knight a3, b takes. Yeah, don't see anything there. I do like bishop over here. But bishop over here does allow knight to c5. So maybe b4 is a sturdy move. Sorry, pawn to b5. Queen e7. Maybe bishop over. See, knight d7, knight d2. If only that would work. Is there a way to dislodge? Knight takes, g takes, queen takes c6. I don't think there's a mate though. None that I can calculate. Okay, bishop e7. Let's pre-move this recapture. Bishop takes knight. Let's see, g6. h4. Yeah, the game's starting to trend unfavorably for me. Okay, so on pawn h4, pawn to h5, I think I'll play pawn to a5. Because, yeah, if I could play a4, I'm just hoping knight d2 comes in time. Yeah, maybe I barely hold on there. So I'm looking at h5, pawn to a5. H takes, f takes, rook takes, rook takes. Let's say they try to slide queen a4. My queen is defending laterally on the 7th rank. a4 is coming. But at that point, yeah, all the queens and the rooks are off. So yeah, knight d2 isn't even a threat at that point, is it? Yeah, that makes sense. So knight a5. If knight takes, I have bishop f3. So a discovery on the rook. Does this lose material? Bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, knight takes b3. So bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes b3, c takes. Then I have knight c d2, the family fork. So trying to see if there's any intermezzos, like bishop takes, knight takes, but I just take the rook. Yeah. Knight takes, there is rook takes, but I still have knight d2. I still have knight d2. Okay. Yeah, so eventually this tactic does come to fruition. Okay. Yeah, I think let's keep this simple. Win the exchange, then queen e6. So queen over doesn't really threaten much. Okay, so we're up a full rook. Okay, let's bring our knight back. Okay, let's trade off the dark square bishops. Let's not drop this rook. Like rook takes a8, I could imagine that being a funny tactic. So we are under 2 minutes. But I do have some natural looking moves to build up the time. I think pawn takes. Yeah, knight takes is the next move. Yeah, if they want to avoid the trade, they have to play bishop h2, and yeah, sort of a sad move to play. Rook over, threatening rook takes c2. And I'll probably try to march these pawns up, so pawn to a5. What about queen c6? So, trying to force a trade, but there's queen e2. Okay, so queen c3 check, queen takes, rook takes. That looks fine. Double up. So this pawn is hanging. Okay, so we do drop this pawn. So some technique is needed. I think pawn to a4 may be interesting. What about pawn to b4, take, take? Yeah, this pawn's actually pinned. So maybe they'll push c4. That makes sense. Do you like simply knight over? Just gives my opponent something to think about. Let's get the king involved. So a little bit of a trick here. If rook takes pawn, there's knight d3 at the end. Let's give them another chance to go for this b4 pawn. Okay, so let's protect this pawn now. But yeah, let's stay vigilant. So king up, there's a check. But they do drop their bishop then. Okay. So f3 check does drop the bishop. Did I have rook takes? I don't think so. Let's give this check. So trying to build up some time on the clock here. I don't like how discoordinated my rooks are. Let's give this check. So rook takes, I may have a fork. But yeah, I'm not making this easy for myself. Okay, let's get some checks in. Rook d2 is coming in. Rook over is also somewhat interesting. This forces rooks off, doesn't it? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So bishop f2, I do have rook e2. Oh no. Yikes. I bungled that up, didn't I? Okay, we're still up the exchange. Yeah, okay. The time pressure may be getting to me. Let's try to stay solid here. Did I just blunder that pawn? Yeah, blundering the b4 pawn. Okay. We still have chances here, but yeah, not making it easy for myself. Duh, that check doesn't even do anything. Yeah, I just collapsing this game. Not my finest conversion here. Yeah, this might be resignable. Oof. Yeah, this one hurt. This one hurt. Okay, so let's throw this into the study. Yeah, and see where it all went wrong. Actually, even here, this was a blunder, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Okay, so it... yeah, here I still had the checks. So maybe just giving a check here. Yeah, cutting off the king. And trying to get out like this. Or not even like that. This is mate. Okay. Yeah, so this rook b7 move was probably where it gave the game away. then towards the end, I was really low on time. Yeah, rook e2 just handed the game. Yeah, and after rook b5 here, yeah, with the connected passed pawns, yeah, don't know if it was worth a try. It says everything's losing. Okay, so just this one tactic here. But yeah, white played well and kept fighting on. But yeah, rook b7, I'll take a look at this during the analysis. But yeah, white didn't give me any easy moves where I could build up the 10-second increments. Even here, yeah, venturing out with my king, maybe that decision was also very questionable. Yeah, I was playing for too many traps. Trying to invite rook over. Maybe I should have just allowed this. And this is like very easy to play with low time. Push the pass pawns. So yeah, king e6. Yeah, playing for these traps. King e4, what's the idea here actually? And here, I think rook b7 would have made my life a lot easier, just covering the first two ranks, because this h7 pawn is quite weak. But yeah, the conversion, I definitely could have played that a lot better. Maybe there's some interesting moments here in the game as well. I think it just came down to tactics, though. Where was the tactic? Yeah, this series of trades. Okay, so let's take a look at our rating. We're down to 1925, so that ended our nice little win streak, but we will play again tomorrow. Thanks everyone for sticking around. Bye.